Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing really well as always. Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Flow Picks by Dunlop. So coming off the back of last week's show, my band Lost Cause, we played over in Rotherham, that's sort of Sheffield way in the UK. We supported a band called Ashes of Ire. And the guitar player from that band, Kieran, has been a friend of mine on social media for, I don't know, quite a few years now. And, we've just sort of like followed each other and chatted every now and then. We'd always talked about doing a show together. So early this year, Kieran messaged me and said, hey, do you guys want to come and play with us? We jumped at the chance. And the show was last Friday. So yeah, it was really cool to meet Kieran after all this time of following each other on socials and just chat about gear and guitars and stuff like that and play a show together, right? So later on in the evening when I was watching Kieran play with his band, because they were headlining, so they were on a little bit later on, I was watching his picking technique, right? And it's without doubt some of the tightest rhythm guitar playing I've ever seen. Yeah, it was kind of like, I was kind of like studying him as he was playing. And I'm quite a frustrated rhythm guitar player, right? I'm actually not like the most confident guitar player, believe it or not. With all like the metal chugs and the fast picking and stuff like that, I've really had to work to try and stay on top of that and come. I don't want to say as far as I have because I don't think I'm that great, if I'm honest, but to get to the stage that I'm at now, I've really had to work at it. It doesn't really come natural to me. So I was watching Kieran play, and it's funny, we're such a juxtaposition in the way that we play live anyway. When you see me play, I'm very quite frantic, and there's almost like an anxiety to when I'm playing live. I watch back and I can see just sort of how caught up in it I am in terms of like trying to get everything right. Whereas when Kieran plays, he's just so confident, right? He's really like zen when he's playing, I want to say. He's just really confident. He just sort of stands there and he just nails his parts. And zen was the word that just sort of came to mind. He just executed everything really, really well. And I was watching his picking hand and I was thinking, Christ, that's tight. But he's doing all the things that I do. You know, like he's holding the pick the same way I do. He's got his fingers fanned out. It's all coming from the wrist, none of that sort of like arm action. He's doing everything that I've done for the last however many years I've been playing. And he was doing everything that I would teach somebody as well who wanted to start playing like metal guitar. You know, his articulation in the wrist and his picking was just really, really tight. No sort of overly big movements, you know what I mean? It was just really, really well executed, right? So I was thinking to myself, where am I going wrong, right? Because some days I have really off days of playing like rhythm guitar. You know, it really discourages me, and I think we've all been there, right? And social media is the worst thing for that, right? Because you are like one swipe away from opening your phone and scrolling through, like 20 people who've got like the tightest rhythm chops you've ever seen. So it's quite easy to start comparing yourself to other people, thinking, oh, where am I going wrong, sort of thing. So afterwards, I had a conversation with Kieran, and I said, like, you're picking, like, how are you so accurate? And he reached in his pocket and he said, try this. And he handed me this pick. Now, I'm really stuck in my ways when it comes to gear. I don't like change. I like to find what I like, and I kind of like to stick to it. And I've been using these Ernie Ball Everlasts for years now, 0.88. And do they ever last? Well, I've talked about this on the channel before. They do not, okay? I do a heck of a lot of playing, whether it's with my bands or with my day job. And, I'll grind one of these down in a day. And that's not necessarily because I'm picking stupidly hard. I just don't think they do what it says on the tin, unfortunately. However, I've always really liked the feel of them. And it's just one of those things, when you're just into something and you just kind of stick with it. So I was using those to that point, right? So yeah, despite how sort of like stuck in my ways I can be, when he handed me the pick and said, try this, right? I was like, okay, whatever, man. I saw his picking and I wanted it. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I'm willing to give it a go. And then when I came home, sort of like the next day, I plugged my guitar and I was really eager to see what it's all about, right? And lo and behold, it just changed my picking within like an hour. Like I could feel the difference straight away. And it all kind of makes sense now because one of the things I've realized about my playing is I play quite close to the strings, right, with my fingers. So I barely have any of the pick showing when I'm playing. there's some guys when I see them playing, they manage to keep like so much of the pick like sticking out, and I'm like, how the heck do you like control that? Because there's so much play. So I've always kept the pick in really, really tight. But the thing is, with a normal pick, I realized, like for instance, with the only ball stuff, or just a normal shape pick like a Dunlop 0.73 or whatever, you've got a heck of a lot that's sticking out there to contend with. And that can be really good because sometimes if you're missing out or you're not playing accurately or whatever, it'll catch you, right? But with this thing, it's just pure accuracy, and I'm not sort of like fumbling over the strings. Sometimes I feel like with this thing, it's kind of, I don't know, the wide tip on it is just kind of getting in the way. So yeah, that is, I don't know if you guys can see there, that is like a considerable sharp end on it. And after watching him play and like trying the pick for myself, it just all made sense. He said the reason why he likes them is it makes going from like string to string quite easy. So I don't know if you guys have ever played like a riff that's sort of like going across the strings, and it might always be difficult to maintain like the rhythm and the flow, hence Dunlop flow, I guess, the what it does is in the name, right? So yeah, so I tried that, and yeah, going from one string to another is really, really easy with this thing. And like I said, it really compensates for the fact that of how close I pick with barely of that tip showing, right? So it really, it just works, right? The other thing I'll mention about these picks is the grip is one of the sort of like standout things. As soon as I like held it in my hand, it's like that is absolutely going nowhere. The grip is absolutely incredible on these things. I find a lot of the time when I'm playing, sometimes like the pick will start like swiveling around a little bit maybe. But with this thing, once you've got your grip on it and you go to it, it just doesn't move. It's great. So yeah, I found this to be like an incredibly accurate pick so far. And you don't have to put as much sort of like effort in with when you're playing, because that point is so articulate. So you know, I found that my wrist movements have been a lot sort of smaller since I've started using this thing, which is great for stamina, especially if you're playing like fast picky stuff, which is quite relentless. The one thing I will say about this is it won't be for everybody, right? Some people like that rounded tip that I've lived with for years now, right? Because it will catch you if you sort of miss a note. Whereas with this thing, if you miss a note, you have missed it, right? Because of like how pointy it is, right? So you are relying on sort of your skill as a rhythm guitar player or a lead guitar player, if you like, depending on what you using these things, or if you do both as an all-round guitar player. It really forces you to make every single pick and wrist articulation count. So another thing I'll say as well is, I won't lie, I'm still getting used to this thing. There's certain things that, you know, obviously playing the picks that I've been playing for so long, it's taken me a little while to adjust to it. However, because it's increased my accuracy in like the space of a week, and my confidence, which is the most important thing, I'm willing to work with it. There's certain things that I'm still working on with it, like for instance my pinches. I'm still trying to work on getting my pinches with it because I'm used to a certain feel, right? You know, I'm still trying to work on like having it become a natural thing to go into a pinch. So yeah, even just playing that riff there, going across strings. like that is just absolutely effortless. And I can't believe how effortless it is. It's like all the riffs that I've usually struggled to play have all of a sudden become like really doable for me, especially all the gallopy stuff. Like a lot of people know who followed this channel for a while, gallops have always been something that I've struggled with immensely. You know, I think it's a combination of things. Number one, I think it's, you know, the pick is helping, but it's also made me like adjust my technique. So it's not a case of like, oh, play these picks, they'll fix everything. I've certainly had to slightly adjust my technique in order to get the most out of them. So it certainly made like those little gallops that happen, like in the middle of like downpick riffs and stuff like that, so much more easy, you know, like. It's just so much more easier. You know, I'm pretty sure you guys can see how happy I am about this. You know, it's literally changed things in the space of a week. So, thank you, Kieran, I guess. So what are some of the things that I'm not so into with the pick? I guess the color. Those green Ernie ball picks are great when you're playing live and you're sort of in a dark room. And for instance, if you drop your pick or something, it's very sort of bright and you can see where it is. The other thing I will say as well, I'm using a 1mm here and I'm used to a 0.88. Now I'm not sure if it's because of the extra thickness or the point or what, but I find like strumming is kind of taking some getting used to. So I do quite a bit of like strumming in like my day job as a guitar teacher and stuff. And I find that I've been going back to the other picks, just because I find it a lot easier to get a good strum out of those. With this, I find it's a little bit of a weapon. It's absolutely perfect for heavy metal and articulation. But yeah, I just find this is a little bit too, it's got a little bit too much attack, which I think is kind of like the point, I guess. You know, this is really geared toward this style of playing, but it's got just a little bit too much attack for me personally when it comes to like the light strummy stuff. So maybe next time if they do like a thinner gauge, I might try that if they've got like a 0.88, just to see how it feels, just to see if it's any better. But yeah, I found I get a little bit sort of like hung up when I'm strumming with this thing. But those are literally like the only things, you know, other than the fact that I'm having to rework some of my technique, which is absolutely fine. You know, because that's going to come with the territory. It's a completely different feel altogether. So the ones that I ordered are the standard 1mm flow performance plectrums. Okay, comes in a little bag like that. These cost around £8 to £9, which is a lot more than I'm used to paying, considering you get fewer picks. So I think with the Ernie Ball stuff, you pay about like £6-7 and you get 12 of them, right? However, this only comes with 6. Right. However, I think there's a little bit more bang for your buck with these, especially if it's improving your technique. So I'm kind of happy to pay the bit extra in order to have these. So even riffs like that's got all the, like, my confidence is usually on the floor about that sort of things, but to be able to just pick up and start doing it without thinking about it or psyching myself up to do it, especially on camera as well, you know, it's it's kind of a dream come true in a way. It's really, really increased my confidence as a guitar player. So I'm still not quite 100% there with them. I'm still missing notes every now and then because, like I said, because that is so sharp, you know, if you've missed a note, you have missed it, you know, so I'm still trying to work on getting my articulation up. But yeah, again, I'm really happy to work with that. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this thing. It's been instant results for me, and it's basically, I think, what I've been looking for a very long time now. Would I recommend them? If you're looking to play heavy metal guitar and you're looking to do all sort of like the cross string stuff, fast tremolo picking, gallopy riffs and stuff like that, absolutely. It's just given me precision beyond my wildest dreams. But yeah, with the strumming side of things, it's a little bit too much attack for me, but maybe a lighter gauge would make up for that. The only other thing I would say as well is they kind of just make me want to play fast and do nothing but play fast, you know, so, which is cool and everything because I like playing fast. But yeah, I find like every time I'm picking up the guitar now, I'm trying to play like the fastest riffs I know. I'm playing them as like fast as possible. So they certainly encourage you to play faster, and they certainly make it a heck of a lot more effortless. So yeah, I'm still trying to work with these. I'm still not like 100% there, but again, I'm seeing like massive improvement and it's not even been a week yet. So yeah, very, very happy with these. Would I recommend them? Absolutely. Give them a try, see what you think. And yeah, so I guess thank you, Kieran, for just saying to me, try this. You know, he didn't say it'll fix everything, but you know, when I was sort of like quizzing him on his rhythm guitar playing and how good it is, he was just like, try that, you know, and yeah, he was absolutely right. So yeah, thank you, Kieran, for the suggestion. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, please be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment, let me know what you think. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.